Hi again, everybody. It's Brad Sussmack with you for the Buffalo Wild Wings Kansas State. You know, the Wildcat fans are all pumped, psyched, and geeked for a great national matchup. This isn't just one of those everyday bowl games. No. The Wildcats taking on the Michigan Wolverines. You talk about a great powerhouse matchup. This year's Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. I think if you look across the plane of all the bowl games that are out there, this is one of those that you circle and say, what a heck of a matchup. Two storied programs. Of course, K-State fans, you know full well how it is out here in Tempe and in Phoenix and in Scottsdale this time of year. Weather is absolutely gorgeous. It's close to 80 degrees today. Poolside for a lot of the players. They were out at events over the last couple of days. This is one of the premier bowl games to be a part of. The Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl that will be played over at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe on Saturday night. Now we're going to bring you a lot of the players from Kansas State. We're going to get a lot of the angles on this game, a lot of the different matchups, and some presentations as well. You can see the K-State players are coming on in right now. So the players, there will be about 20 of them. The voice you hear behind us up on the podium is Paul Jensen, Director of Public Relations on this day in moderating this event up on stage. Let's hear from him.
Registration is open in the Peace Pipe Room, which is down the way. And momentarily, we'll be having a brief presentation in the front corner here next to the dais. Okay, if I could draw the room's attention to the front of the room, please. If you could pause with your interviews for a moment. If we could have your attention, please. I'd like to introduce Jim Schmidt, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Buffalo Wild Wings. Jim.
Thank you. Thank you to the Fiesta Bowl Committee for welcoming us to Tempe once again, and congratulations to both teams competing for the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl Trophy. On behalf of Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm delighted to welcome you to the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. This is our second year as the title sponsor of the bowl, and I have to admit, it's just as exciting the second time around. Our roots are in college communities, and as you probably know, we're all about sports. These are the kind of events that our fans live for. Based upon the amount of purple I've already seen in the Tempe area, I'd say you have the same kind of fans that we have. Passionate, fun-loving, ready to rally behind their team. Every week, our Aggieville restaurant is packed with Wildcats fans. We want to officially congratulate Kansas State, head coach Bill Snyder, and athletic director John Curry. We know that between the two of us, the Wildcats and Buffalo Wild Wings, the desert is a little hotter today. So we'd like to present you with a token of our congratulation and best wishes with this basket full of our signature sauces and seasonings, including our aptly named Desert Heat. Congratulations, Coach. Thank you very much. Good luck to all of you. We look forward to a great game come this Saturday.
What's your president? Kirk? John Curry's a member of our board. So AD and University President, they're in the room. Available for interviews? Are they in here right now? Coach, welcome back. Paul Jensen.
And there's head coach Bill Snyder taking the podium. We will carry some of the coach's initial comments. Here's Coach Bill Snyder of Kansas State.
Bill Snyder will be up front here. And for those asking questions of the head coach, we ask you to allow us to get a microphone so your question is on line for the viewing audience. You ready? Okay, we'll start up here in the front. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Coach. Alexa T with Fox Sports Arizona. Looking at the Michigan, their entire starting lineup, there's a lot of seniors. How are you guys preparing for that?
Well, you don't change your preparation in regards to how you organize it, and what you work against is reliant upon the opponent that you're going to play. Michigan has, it's not just the fact that they have a number of seniors in their program. It's the fact that they have a number of extremely talented, fine players. And so you have to practice as well as you possibly can. We have to practice good on good, meaning, the best we have against the best we have as frequently as we can in order to somewhat replicate to smaller degree, but to some degree what Michigan presents. But you work against what your assumption is that you'll see on game day.
Follow-up?
Follow-up. Are there any teams in the Big 12 that kind of look like Michigan to you, that you can say that the experience will help you prepare for this game?
Well, there's not one team in particular that that has the identical schematic history as Michigan does. There are teams that throughout the conference that have a certain segment of what Michigan would present offensively. Defensively, there are a number of teams that have some of the same schemes that Michigan would present. Special teams, same thing is true. So it's a smattering throughout the conference that we play in, if that makes any sense to you.
Before we go to the next question.
That is Bill Snyder, the head football coach at Kansas State. Brad Sesmat with you here at Media Day for Kansas State for the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. And Jake Waters is now with us. Jake Waters, so here's a story. Kansas State fans know this full well. There's a couple of quarterbacks that we will see here on Saturday night. Jake, it's your first trip out here to, you were telling me off camera, the furthest west you've been is?
I think around Colorado.
Yeah? And is Arizona about what you expected it to be?
I mean, it's you hear it's it's hot and dry out here. It's definitely a lot like that. It's way better, and we left the snow in Manhattan, so I'm enjoying it out here.
What was the temperature in Manhattan, you think, when you left?
Probably around 10 to 15 degrees.
Yeah, and today it's supposed to be 79. So I'm not rubbing it in, but have you been poolside yet?
Yeah, we have, some of the guys went out there, we had to take advantage of it. This time of year we're not used to it, so we definitely are enjoying ourselves.
What's been your highlight so far out here at the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl?
Just nothing in particular, just being out here, with all the guys and, taking advantage of the opportunity to play in a great bowl game. We're just, taking, every day as an opportunity, we get better at practice, but this whole trip, has been, pretty special.
Is it hard to stay focused on football when you're at like a gaming place or they're throwing beef in front of you or you're going to movies? I mean, you've got a lot of opportunities that are great. How hard is it to stay focused on football? Or is it, we deserve something like this after a good season?
There's a little bit of both. We're down here for one reason, to win a bowl game. So you got to, keep that in the back of your mind. But, with Christmas, family being down here, it does kind of get hard to, separate, the leisure time from the, all right, we came here to win. But, we've done a good job with Coach Snyder, telling us, when to, what to focus on and stuff. So you definitely, you have to balance it. But, we all, came down here for one goal, and, that's to win the bowl game.
What do you know about Michigan?
They're a great team. Watching on film, they have athletes everywhere, and we're gonna have to play, at one heck of a game to, to get a win. But I think we're definitely up for the challenge.
Tell me about school. How's school been for you?
Pretty well. It does kind of get busy, with football and everything. But we have a great, academic staff here, at Kansas State, and they really help us. And I'm just enjoying, every step of, the college life, I guess you would say.
The experience,
Yep.
the journey. Your major, have you decided yet?
Business management.
What do you want to do with it? Do you think?
I'm not really, too sure. If I want to go into, just whatever, maybe coach one day or something. I'm still kind of feeling it out. But I just, pick something that I could kind of, expand any way I wanted to.
you have a good person to learn from there in Coach Schneider.
Yeah, definitely. I pick his brain all the time, just trying to learn, how he operates and everything. So, yeah, it's definitely a good guy to, have on my side.
Go enjoy your time. Thanks for coming by for a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you.
There you go on that front. Let's go back up to the podium. Appreciate Jake Waters coming by. Here's Coach Schneider at the podium answering more questions here at Media Day for Kansas State at the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl.
The ball game, as all teams do, you probably define yourself a little bit. It just takes some time to figure out what that definition is. When did you guys get in? Last night. Okay, good. All right. Good to have you.
Follow-up question. Go ahead.
I just want to talk to you what it's like trading in a white Christmas in Kansas for a cactusy Christmas down here south. Do you miss being home, or is it nice to get a little warm weather in?
Well, we're honored to be here as always, but our families are acclimated to that. We've been to a lot of bowl environments that took place over Christmas itself. We had a nice Christmas dinner last night for all of our travel party, our administration, and just everybody in our travel party. And everybody deals with it a little differently. We tried to have, personally, on a personal basis, tried to have a little bit of our Christmas, the night before we left. But it's, and we had a little bit here, and we'll have a little bit when we get back. So it's divided up, but like I said, we're acclimated to it. My children have been going. I mean, they've been to our three oldest children have been to 24 bowl trips, so they're hotel rugrats. They know how to, move around and take care of themselves and manage to do it seemingly all right anyway. I haven't heard any problems yet.
Was
Follow-up.
Right, was Santa able to find you down here okay, or is that stuff waiting for you?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Was Santa able to find you guys down here, or is that stuff all waiting back home for you?
Well, the youngest, we have personally have 8 grandchildren, and 3 of them are really into that, and so Santa kind of slips down every night, slips down the chimney, and we make a little gift for them, during that period of time. But the rest of it, as a coach, you get invested in what you're doing, and so it's a normal week of preparation other than travel time, which makes it a little more difficult.
Coach here on the aisle.
Tyler Lockett joins us now for a couple of minutes. Kansas State wide receiver. The deal with the Lockett name in Kansas State, that's a long history and lineage. Tell me about the background of Lockett's in K-State.
Well, as everybody kind of already knows, my dad went to Kansas State as well as my uncle, and now I'm here. And I mean, it's just been a blessing, especially to be able to follow in your dad's footsteps and also your uncle's footsteps. Of course, my dad excelled at wide receiver, and my uncle, he excelled at wide receiver as well as special teams returner. And just to be able to have both of them guide me and lead me in the right direction as I'm at Kansas State right now has kind of helped me excel in a way as well.
Okay, who's the next Lockett then?
I would have to say Sterling Lockett.
In what grade?
He's in 5th grade.
5th grade. You can already see it coming, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you working with him on his dance? Is he going to be a wide receiver, or is he a...
Well, right now he's playing wide receiver, so yes.
Yeah, all right. Not a quarterback, not
no,
yet.
We're going to keep it at the same position.
All right, so this week, how's the week been for you? Just the overall taking it in, and how's the whole week been?
It's been a fun week. It's been a pleasure trip as well as just a business trip. We're learning how to just work on our time management, because some days you only get to practice for about 2 hours and watch film for about an hour, so you have to be able to take in as much as you can, as well as try to have fun at the end of the day. We had to go Christmas shopping, had to do some of that stuff for Christmas, so I think it's just been a fun trip overall.
When you go Christmas shopping in Scottsdale, it's pretty pricey, right? You didn't do any Christmas shopping out here, did you?
No, we didn't go to Scottsdale. We went last
man.
year, but we ended up going to the Outlet Mall.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes, sir.
That's fun. And what other events have you done out here at the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl?
We went to the main event. We went there yesterday, and a lot of players, we played laser tag, we bowled. I mean, we just had fun.
Yeah? Did you talk trash?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But then I lost the game, so I had to kind of humble myself.
Who is the best bowler on your team?
Well, I would have to say the best bowler right now would probably be John Hubert, Stephen West, Dorian Roberts, or this dude named Kyle Eccles.
Okay, and who beat you?
John Hubert has beaten me.
Okay.
Stephen West has beaten me. I haven't won against everybody else.
Yep.
Sometimes Dante Barnett beats me.
Is John in here right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go. You want to go interview him?
Yeah, we can
let's
go
go.
talk to
Let's
him.
go. Let's go. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to turn it over to Tyler Lockett. Where is he?
He's over there.
Okay, go for it. And look, here's the thing. You can ask him anything you want. It's live. Don't screw up. That's my only advice. You can go interview anybody you want and just have a little bit of fun with them, or get them to talk about the X's and O's of the game, or, you know, like, why is it you beat him in this or he beats you in that? So do I need to help you with this, or can you just?
Yeah, you might want to start it.
No. Well, so you look. So he's being interviewed right now. Just come on up on the stage. Just come on up on the stage and take it over. It's all you, man.
No, I'll let him finish first. I'll let him finish.
What? No, you can take over. He's
You sure?
yeah.
We just want to figure out who's the best bowler right now.
John Hubert. Everybody, John Hubert is the best bowler.
And what was your score yesterday?
217.
Was that 3 weeks ago or was that yesterday?
That was yesterday.
Who has beaten you that has been on this team?
No one.
Okay, no further questions.
No other questions? You
No.
gonna let him off the hook like that? He
Yeah.
just blew you out. You got any football stuff for him?
Nah, I pretty much know everything about him. I've been with him for 3 weeks, 3 years.
I think I'm gonna let him interview you.
Nah, not on spot.
All right, who else do you have in here? Who else do you need busting chops on?
Let's go to my roommate, Dante Barnett.
Yeah, go to the roommates. Roommates always have good stories. Don't let him off the hook. Yeah, you can keep him for 5, 6 minutes, 10 minutes for all I care. I want to know who's the biggest slob. You know, it's all you. Who cleans up? I'll get you a chair. Go ahead. Tyler Lockett's doing the interview circuit. Here we go. It's all you, Tyler. Now, don't let him off the hook.
So can you please state your name?
Dante Barnett.
Here, get a little closer to him. Slide in. Look. You guys are roommates, man. Don't be afraid.
All right, first of all, we're just going to keep it a little easy. So who's the best bowler that's on the team?
I have to say myself.
You have to say, John Hubert just said he was the best bowler on the team. What do you have to say about that?
He ran away from me yesterday at the main event, so it's not much to say. When he both at 210. That was about 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yes.
So what do you have to say about me being my roommate? I know you say you had a lot of things to say when you had the chance. So what's one of the things that you want to say?
He's funny.
Is that it?
Yes.
How does it feel knowing me since 5th grade? Us having a relationship in middle school, then going to high school, now being at the same college. How is that?
Naggy.
It's naggy.
Yeah.
What's naggy about it?
I can't get rid of you.
Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Because I feel like in some ways we need each other.
Both. I'll say it's both. We do at times.
All right. So how does it feel being at K-State? What made you make your decision to want to go to Kansas State? I know you had other schools you could have gone to. What made you choose this one?
My best friend. It's hard. Everybody wants to go to school with a best friend, so I'll say going to school with a friend was one of the biggest decisions.
And have you looked back on that decision yet?
Nope, because we're winning football games.
Okay. So how does it feel to be roommates with Ty Zimmerman?
Where is he at? It's tough because, Ty Zimmerman is a great guy, so you never want to mess up in a room. You want to keep everything clean and not try to mess up the room, so it's kind of weird.
Is Ty Zimmerman quiet?
He's shy at first, but once he gets in the room and gets relaxed, he starts talking and opening up and cracking jokes with everyone.
So what's some of the things that Ty Zimmerman does when he's in a room with you? What kind of TV shows does he watch? What kind of music does he listen to?
He really keeps it on ESPN a lot. And music, he puts on his iPod, so I really don't know what music he's listening to unless he's rapping some Lecrae. So that's really all.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you, roommate. I think we got to go.
Well, wait now. So I think you got to turn around and interview him because he put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
You going to bust his chops?
Yeah.
No, you both have a mic.
You ready?
Yep.
What's your name?
My name is Tyler. Nice to meet you,
Nice to
roommate.
meet you too. So if it's one position you could play on defense, what would it be?
Well, you know, when we were in high school and middle school, we both played cornerback, but we couldn't really be on the same side because every time they threw the ball, we both would try to intercept it and run into each other. But I would have to say cornerback because I like guarding people.
Okay, okay. If you had to choose one person on this team, who is the best singer?
The best singer? I would say the best singer would probably have to be Trey Walker.
Why did you say that?
Just because it's either Trey or William Cooper. I mean, you hear them singing, whether we're done with practice or whether it's before practice or whether you just catch them in the student union. I mean, they're always singing songs.
Okay. What would you want to tell the media? One thing about you that they don't know.
One thing about me that they don't know, I would say that I write poetry, that I kind of do spoken word. Yes, sir.
That's good.
Yes.
If you do poetry, do you rap?
Ooh, do I rap? It varies. It varies. Do I have one?
Yeah, you have one?
Sure. What, you want to hear a little bit?
Sure, you got it. Just look in the camera. It's just, you got one?
No, I don't got a rap.
You got one. Go ahead.
I can't say the whole thing. It's like 3-4 minutes, but
No, you can do as much as you can do.
I would just say one of the poems is called "What Are You Waiting For?" and it's like, look at you all, young men and women just sitting there listening, hoping I say the right words to grab your attention and spark something on the inside that's always been there from the beginning. Dreams, hidden potential, who knows? My question to you is, what are you waiting for? Because last time I checked, you don't need to have a resume to go out and feel the impossible. So we'll stop it at that.
You can keep going.
Nah, I can't keep going right now. You have any more questions?
You're good. You're good. You guys are good. Nice job. All right, man. Good job. Now that's what I'm talking about. Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, they're having some fun, having a great time. Bill Snyder's up on the podium. We're going to be with him momentarily. But for now, we're going to turn things over. Let's have Jim Schmidt come back on in because we just finished having Tyler Lockett do a little rap for us. Come on in. You can use mine. We'll do it together. Come on in. Jim Schmidt, COO, Buffalo Wild Wings. For all you K-State fans, you're coming out here where Tyler Lockett just told me it was 15 degrees, and the Buffalo Wild Wings folks want to see you out here. We've already heard from several of the players with Kansas State. Still to come, Dr. Robert Shelton will be with us. Jim, the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl and Kansas State. Tell me about that combination.
Oh, we are so excited with the teams that are playing in the bowl game this year. I mean, how much bigger, big names, great fan base. So we are incredibly excited to have Kansas State playing in the bowl game this year.
When it first started to come to form, and I do something with the Fiesta Bowl and the bowl committee every week, and they first said, you know, we think we might get Kansas State and Michigan. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. That's two great programs. When did you start to see this game come into fold?
Well, you know, it's interesting. As you go throughout the season, you see a lot of people prognosticating about who's going to be in. But then really that last week, it's those names started to pop up. And I can't tell you how excited we were. It was like, wow, to get those kind of those powerful names and those teams. So it was, you know, that last week we started to have an idea we might get a shot at them.
You have a lot of purple that's out here this week.
Oh, yeah. No, there's purple everywhere. You know, the Kansas State fans are known for just traveling well and for being incredibly proud, loyal fans, and the purple's everywhere already.
Passionate.
Around Tempe. Passionate is absolutely correct. And that's what we're about, so we love it.
This is your second year. For people that aren't aware of the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl and their partnership out here, it's the second year. How has this worked out for you so far?
This has been a wonderful partnership. You know, it was a really big deal when we were fortunate enough to become the sponsors of the bowl. Last year being the first year was new for us, so we were kind of feeling our way along and in that new relationship. And the people here have been incredible to work with at the Fiesta Bowl committee. They've been great. It's a great partnership. We're so excited for year two, and it's going to be a great event on Saturday.
They do a lot around the charitable end as well. This is not just throwing a football game together and saying, hey, let's sell some wings and let's talk about our brand. You do a lot behind the scenes. I'm going to call you out a little bit on it because you do a lot with the Boys and Girls Clubs, not only nationally, but also right here in the Valley.
Oh yeah, no. We started a national program with the Boys and Girls Clubs across America last year, and we're particularly involved with the local Boys and Girls Club here. I know you'll see a presentation at halftime during the football game related to that. We have some activities at the Fiesta Bowl Parade.
Yeah, like 12, 15 kids are going to
Yeah. So it's wonderful, and you have a great Boys and Girls Club here. I went to an event recently, and very active and incredibly well run, and doing so much good for the community. So it's great.
And you're out here part-time as well? You have a house out here?
Yeah, I do. I have a house in northern Scottsdale, so I'm also a resident of the area, and proud to be in. It's just a great place to live.
I'll let you go off that. Thanks for stopping by and all the work that Buffalo Wild Wings is doing with the Bowl.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with more after this timeout as we continue on. We appreciate Jim Schmidt coming on by from the Buffalo Wild Wings, the COO. Great job they do. Terrific matchup, guys. I mean, come on. You're talking football. You're talking Saturday night. You're talking Kansas State and Michigan. We'll have much more as we continue on here at the Camelback Inn Kansas State Football Media Day.
We've watched all the tape, done some, studies on his high school, performance level, and he was a very quality player as a high school quarterback.
I'll see
He's he's left-handed. And we don't have a left-handed guy out there other than me, and I can't throw the ball like he can. So
You can't?
we don't get to under any circumstance. I can't. So we don't get a chance to, work against the left-handed throw. But, aside from that, I think, number one, they're going to, I can't project or predict what they'll do. But, I'm quite confident that he's well-versed in the system that they have in place. And they have so much. I think that's the thing that, because people ask, the same question. There's so much in their offense. It's a very diversified offense, and they can do, all different types of things, and you have to prepare for all of it anyway. So I don't know that, what we've seen. I don't know whether if they have certain things they do with him that they have never done during the course of the season, then I wouldn't know what those are.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Bill.
Thank you, Kellis.
If you could introduce yourself for the viewers.
Arnie Green from the Salina Journal. You talked about left-handed quarterback. How big an adjustment is that? Is that something that people might overlook, that it's pretty significant, or?
Well, I think the significant thing is whether or not, and I think their coaching staff, I know their coaching staff is, just brilliant people and will, do what they know to be the right things to do and the best things to do. With a left-handed quarterback, there might be more movement to the left with as far as different types of sprint-out passes and roll-out passes, etc. That's kind of happenstance, normal, I would think, as opposed to a right-handed quarterback, maybe more movement to his right. But you have to be prepared for both. As we were with Gardner, the sprint-out pass, but we prepared for him both going to the left as well as the right, even though he went to his right more frequently. So they'll be able to do both with him.
I want to ask you a little bit about John Hubert. It's been he talked about a little bit of a roller coaster year, just because it seems like in most games it's kind of been feast or famine with him as far as the number of carries and number of yards. Is that usually just dictated more by the defense and game situations?
Well,
or
exactly, and you've heard me say that so many times. It's the defense a good defense can dictate what you do. You know, if they want to load them all up there and take away the run, they can do that. If they want to back them all off and defend against the pass, they can do that. That's why you've always heard me say we like to have balance in our offense. That's why Michigan would tell you exactly the same thing. They want balance in their offense for the same reason. I think most people do. And so, it's kind of like a Tyler Lockett. You know, Tyler's caught, what did he catch, 12 balls in one game, and maybe turn around, catch 3 in the next. So much of it depends on what the defense does.
Has this team, especially using 2 different quarterbacks, maybe been a little bit more like that than some of the others with Colin especially? It seemed like you had maybe a little bit more clear identity from game to game, where here it seems like they've taken a little bit different shape.
I don't think so. I think if you'd go back and really thoroughly investigate each ball game, I think when you put it all together, regardless of who happens to be underneath the center, whether it was last year with Colin or this year with the other 2, I think you basically see the same thing.
One more question. Cody White here, just was curious about where you've seen him make the most progress. Some of the guys have mentioned that he may be as improved a player on the offensive line as you've had.
Well, I think Charlie's done a great job with him, and I think he just, it's the experience factor. You do it, every day you get another 100 repetitions of doing, the things that you do. And, last year he's new to it, and he's got a lot of guys around him that he's gaining more and more experience with. They've been together for quite some time, and that helps. So it's, I think just in his, ability capacity to understand and have a excellent working relationship with his teammates and a great understanding of the system in place and adjustments that people make and how to adapt to those types of things. Maybe the key word would be adaptation, understanding how to adapt to what takes place on a football field, because it's never the same, won't be for the rest of your life or mine. So.
Thanks a lot.
You bet.
Media, we've invited Ryan Mueller to come up to the dais and interview us head coach for a few moments.
We continue on now. Ryan Mueller, 11.5 sacks for Kansas State, has been terrific for them this season. We have a little bit of fun here at the Buffalo Wild Wings Media Day. So the Kansas State defensive lineman is up on stage now. He's going to interview Coach Bill Snyder.
Put yourself in a player's shoes. Would you rather be a star player on a losing team or an average player on a winning team?
I would rather be a player at Kansas State University.
Yeah, great answer. Okay. After question number 2, after being a coach for 1,000 years, what is the most important lesson you've learned throughout college, being a college football coach?
Is to try to get as many Ryan Muellers on your team as you possibly can.
Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. If you could go to dinner with one player or one coach on the team besides Sean, who would you go with and why?
Well, you probably know that it would be no one, because I don't go to dinner.
Coach
realize that.
Coach doesn't eat very much, but okay. Well, what about a coffee break?
Coffee break? I don't know if there's anybody that drinks as much coffee as I do, so I don't know. I'd take everybody. I'd take all the coaches and all the players, because that's who I enjoy being around.
Good deal.
Who wrote these for you?
I wrote them down.
You did? Okay. How many did you write?
A couple.
We got doubles.
We got another one.
Okay.
As a coach, what motivates you to come back season after season? What's your motivation? What inspires you?
Well, I think you realize that. It's always been people. I've shared with the media. Have heard me say this millions of times. I came to Kansas State University because of people. We stayed because of people, and when I retired, we stayed in Manhattan because of the people, and I came back to coach again because of people. And the young guys in this room and the young guys that are on our way to practice, which we are here in a second,
Oh, boy.
are part of that group of people. Just the opportunity to have hopefully some type of positive impact on the foundation for the rest of the lives of these young people in our program is what motivates me more than anything.
Are we tired of losing these bowl games?
I am. I hope you are.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's go get it.
All right, that's it. All right, thank you, Ryan.
So Ryan Mueller just finished the interview of his lifetime. Now he has his demo tape for when he's all done playing football because he just interviewed Coach Schneider. Nice job. Were you nervous?
Yeah, definitely nerve-wracking knowing that I got practice later today. So Coach Schneider, I'll probably have to stay after and run a few extra laps. But
Yeah. Did he give you that look like, okay, you're done? You're busted.
You know, sometimes you can just look at him and kind of tell, oh, I'm in for it. So just kind of took it for what it is, and I had fun with it.
See those stairs over there?
Yeah.
Run all of them, like 3 times.
Yeah.
How's the experience been out here for you this week?
It's been great. The hospitality's been great. I've had a great time hanging out with my teammates, and everything's been a blast. They've been treating us really nice.
Michigan. I mean, when you found out you're playing Michigan, it's a little different than, I don't want to throw other teams under the bus, but Michigan, Kansas State, that's a pretty cool matchup. I know the Michigan players said the same thing to me earlier today.
Definitely. Michigan's a powerhouse program. Got a great reputation for being a tough team, and it's a great opportunity for Kansas State, kind of a smaller scale school, to play against such a well-known program in Michigan, and it's a great opportunity for us, and we're looking forward to it.
Earlier today, Michigan's Coach Hoke said that he is not going to use Devin Gardner, that he is out. That's been a storyline that's been going on all week. Have you been following that, and what are your thoughts on not having to face Gardner?
We definitely have been kept in the loop about it, and you know, we've been preparing for anybody and everybody, and you know, it's not going to change, you know, how we approach things. We're just going to, you know, in any game, the goal for the defense is to get after the quarterback and rattle them as much as we can, and it's going to be no different in this game. We're going to do our best to get after the quarterback.
Nice job. Get on out of here. Get ready to run
Thank
laps. There's Ryan Mueller with us for a couple of minutes. There you go. Thanks. Appreciate it. Come on in. Man, they let anybody in here. Holy cow. Brian Hall comes in for a couple of minutes. And I've got a couple of players, too. But have a seat. Hey, Brad, how are you? Good seeing you. Have a seat. Chairman of the board makes his way in. How's the week been so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of still early in the process, but great weather and great fans coming to town. What could be better?
When you found out that you were going to be chairman, extra pressure? Has it been a year of angst, fun?
No angst. It's a lot of fun. It's you know, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with anything like that. You know, where you sort of take on the mantle of being in charge, but certainly nothing bad. It's just all, you know, some additional layers of responsibility and work, but it's all good.
Chairman of the board with us for a couple of minutes. Always good. Brian Hall with the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. Let's talk brass tacks then. Numbers of fans that are rolling through, hotels, all the things that are a big part. It's not just a football game. I always emphasize that.
Right.
This is a community event, and having Michigan and Kansas State, what does it mean to the community?
Well, it's 2 great traditions. I mean, you know, we're talking about the winningest college football program ever in Michigan being here, and the great success that Kansas State's had under Bill Snyder's leadership and the things that John Curry's done in building that department up. And it's a great program, and it's a great success story, and great fans. It's hard to imagine fans that support their team more than the Kansas State Wildcats. So we've got 2 great traditions here, and 2 programs that are, you know, traveling to watch the games and be in the Valley of the Sun. And again, we're delighted that the weather we ordered up has come to pass, 70 degrees and sunny.
You know, it's funny because I was talking to the Kansas State and Michigan players today, and they both said, yeah, it's like 15 and 10 degrees back home. And every year we know that it's in the 70s out here. But every year we need to emphasize, it's really nice out here. Sorry you're not here. The pool and the water is 74 degrees.
It is. It's one of those picture postcard kind of things. It's like, Merry Christmas for Phoenix. Wish you were here. It's very much that actual story. So it's true. And again, they were all bemoaning the fact that in Ann Arbor and Manhattan, it's just, the weather is a little rugged. It's winter there, so I get it. But we're glad to have them here, and I know they're enjoying that part of it.
I was talking to Jim Schmidt earlier, and the Buffalo Wild Wings partnership, it's year number 2. How has that worked out from your view? They seem very happy.
Yes, it's a terrific partnership. We've been blessed to have great partnerships with Tostitos and Buffalo Wild Wings, and a couple of the best sponsors in the college sports football business. So we're so pleased to have their interest. They've hopefully you'll enjoy this one. They've got an option for another year, and we'll hope to continue that relationship for a long time to come. But they've been awesome partners. They're great with sort of local activation and creative ideas and stuff that just sort of an intangible. Wings, beer, and sports, it's sort of their deal. It fits right in our wheelhouse.
Yeah. Not necessarily in that order.
Right, exactly.
Have some fun. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Brad.
Jumping to the board, Brian Hall with us for a couple of minutes. Appreciate him being on board. I think there may be another player or two as we finish up here, or maybe not. I believe our work is done. It's been a great time bringing you all the sights and sounds, having the players interview one another. We appreciate all of you being involved. Again, the game is on Saturday night. You have 7-5 Michigan. You have 7-5 Kansas State. It'll be a terrific matchup. Great football being played out on the field. And, come on over. Come on over. Absolutely. I looked up and I didn't see Daniel there initially. I've been trying to get Daniel on. He's been interviewing. I've been interviewing. Come on in, have a seat. That's yours, Daniel. Daniel Sams, quarterback. Sorry about that. I almost signed off without you. I didn't see you there hiding out there. How's this week been for you?
It's been fine. Just growing close to my teammates, getting closer, practicing, and and just some film. I could just say that we're prepared, for this game.
It was interesting. Earlier, Ryan Mueller was interviewing your coach. And, yeah, I know.
That sounds like Mueller.
And he came over here afterwards, and I said, "Hey, nice job." And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to end up running a lot of stairs today." Because he said Coach had a look in his eye that was, "You are so busted."
Yeah, I already know what look you're talking about too.
You've seen that?
Yeah, I got it a couple times.
Yeah, what's that look like?
It's hard to explain. You
just
know you're in trouble. That's really what it all amounts to. You just know that you're in trouble.
How's the year been for you? If you summed up your year, what would you say?
That's a good question. I really don't know how to sum it up, man. It's been a bumpy ride, but I can say I enjoyed it because I grew up major. This whole season. It's just being a leader and getting my teammates to really follow me and buy into this program. It's been fun. No regrets at all. And, I'm just ready to cap it off Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday, you talk about historic matchups. You have Michigan and yourselves. Here's two storied programs. But you come into this game already familiar with what it's like to be in an environment out here. I sense from the Michigan guys, I haven't been out here before. So a lot of them are kind of like, wow, this is really, I don't know if they're really paying that much attention to football. I could be wrong. Right. That was just the vibe that I got. You guys are familiar with this area for the most part.
Coach Snyder's been stressing this is a business trip before we even left Manhattan. So, we try to, what I'm trying to say, just stay focused on the task at hand, which is winning the bowl game.
Right.
Arizona is a beautiful place. Sometimes we can get, stirred off, lose focus. But when we on that practice field, it's all about beating Michigan. So that's really what's been, the task at hand.
Appreciate you coming by and being patient for a couple minutes.
No problem.
Thanks,
man.
You got it. Daniel Sams there with us, quarterback for Kansas State. And that is going to wrap things up. We appreciate everybody behind the scenes being involved in this webcast from the Kansas State Media Day here at the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. I'm Brad Susmat. Again, the matchup is Saturday night. Kansas State and Michigan. Enjoy your day.